The Serbs announced plans for America's captured soldiers. Eyewitness News has live team coverage on tonight's breaking news in the Balkans. Plus, the big game just got bigger. Wait till you hear tonight's change in the jumbo jackpot. And tonight's Sports Spotlight will leave you dancing for joy. I'm Vic Carter. Eyewitness News now, just seconds away.
A little chicken music, please. Thigh bones connected to the wing bones connected to the drums. Hold it, stop the music. There's no bones in my crispy strips, just juicy white breast meat, freshly prepared. A real meal, and this crispy strips meal is just $2.99. Bones not included. At KFC, we do chicken right. No bones, no bones, no bones at all. No bones, no bones, no bones at all.
Live from WJZ-13, you've got Baltimore's favorite news team. Now, Eyewitness News.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vic Carter. Denise has the night off. Here's what people are talking about tonight. 3 young Americans held prisoner by the Serbs. Tonight, America is wondering what the U.S. will do to get them back. Now comes word the 3 could face trial in a matter of hours. They are haunting images of war. U.S. servicemen captured by Serbs and paraded before cameras. America is relieved they're alive, but demands they should be free.
We don't like the way they're treated, and we have a long memory about these kinds of things.
The Serbs are being warned that no harm should come to these prisoners of war. President Clinton says he holds Serb leader Slobodan Milosevic personally responsible for their safety.
There was absolutely no basis for them to be taken. There is no basis for them to be held. There is certainly no basis for them to be tried.
NATO contends the men were part of a peacekeeping force 3 miles inside the Macedonian border, not ground troops involved in Operation Allied Force. Regardless, fellow soldiers whisper words of prayer, words of hope.
I think there was a lot of prayers that went out for the safe return of the servicemen as well as to their families. But I think the mood here is that we have a job to do.
If someone you loved was being held prisoner, it would be all you could do to keep calm. So imagine the families of the captive soldiers and how they feel. Tonight, Kai Jackson continues our team coverage with a look at the soldiers and their families. Kai.
Well, Vic, these men aren't just soldiers. They are someone's husband, someone's son, someone's brother, someone's loved one.
Andrew Ramirez, Christopher Stone, and Stephen Gonzalez. The U.S. military says these 3 servicemen were abducted by Serbian forces. Now the trio has captured the nation's attention.
I'd like to take advantage of this opportunity to thank everyone for sharing their concerns and prayers for my son and us. It means a great deal to us all.
Andrew Ramirez is from Los Angeles. Christopher Stone is from Capac, Michigan. And Stephen Gonzalez is from Houston.
It means a lot to us that he'd be returned to us safely.
A local psychologist says there's no question that it's the families of these captured servicemen who are going through the agonizing pain of uncertainty. But he says even those of us just watching this drama unfold on TV experience a pain of our own.
If you love your country and you appreciate what these young people are doing for us, where they're laying their lives on the line for our principles, then we are victimized by this.
They're innocent young men who were over there as part of their duty to their country.
And that's how all of these families feel tonight, Vic, that they were just doing their duty, that they should not be held captive, and these families want their loved ones returned home. Vic?
Kai, thank you for the live report. Prisoners of war are supposed to be treated humanely under an international agreement called the Geneva Convention. But 2 local men, once held prisoner, tell Eyewitness News they know better. Katie Lahan has their story.
It was hell, and they did not believe in the Geneva Convention.
They are 2 old soldiers sharing a nightmare that is all too real.
This is the scar?
Yeah.
What did they do?
They had laid me on the table, and they held my arms and legs down, and they took a knife and made an incision here, and they pried open the skin, and they stuck chicken liver down into it.
Bill and Jim, Korean war vets, former POWs, became friends in a Chinese death camp, starving, freezing, suffering together for 33 months. Proof the international laws that are supposed to protect soldiers don't always work.
It was an atrocity. It was a criminal act.
The Geneva Convention rules state POWs should get clean housing and clothing, enough food to survive, medical care, humane treatment, and be able to send and receive mail. Those laws may sound good on paper, but those who've been in battle say behind enemy lines, they are rarely enforced.
I have been trained in some of the things that will be done to you, whether you know it or not.
I can't give you the Special Operations soldier's name. He's been specially trained to survive, evade, resist, and escape the enemy, something they don't teach you in boot camp.
Sleep deprivation, time deprivation, light deprivation, food deprivation, typical human body function, facilities deprivation, any and every deprivation that you can think of, to include psychological aspects that you typically wouldn't be exposed to.
For the night team, Katie Lahan, WJZ Eyewitness News.
The Geneva Convention provided little protection in the Korean War. It seems to provide little more tonight, as the Serbs say they will put our soldiers on trial tomorrow. Well, is that legal? Eyewitness News set out tonight to find the experts on these matters. Kathy Fowler is live now in the newsroom to tell us what we found. Kathy.
Well, Vic, every country has legal procedures, even the former Yugoslavia. Eyewitness News talked to an international law expert who says that Slobodan Milosevic is the one breaking the law just by holding this trial. Law experts say just putting captured U.S. soldiers on Serbian TV is against the law. Experts say that's a clear violation of the Geneva Convention.
As prisoners of war, their right is to be taken to some safe, quiet place out of combat and not to be made a spectacle of.
When you look at each soldier, it'd be hard to miss the bruises on their faces.
They appear to have been beaten. That would be a violation of the Geneva Convention if they have been beaten.
According to the Pentagon, when the 3 American soldiers were caught, they were on a peacekeeping mission in Macedonia and posed absolutely no threat to Yugoslavia. No one seems to know what charges they could even face.
This is clearly not a legitimate trial.
Sellers says it appears Slobodan Milosevic is making up rules as he goes along, because even if these soldiers committed serious war crimes, there's no way they should be tried 2 days after being captured. Everyone in Baltimore Eyewitness News talked to tonight seemed to agree about what the U.S. should do.
I think we should try to bring them home. Go in and get them. Go in and get them. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Go bring them back. They're ours.
Now, 8 years ago, a United Nations tribunal was set up in the former Yugoslavia to try war criminals. Vic, our experts tell us that if Milosevic wants a trial, he's supposed to turn the soldiers over to the UN.
Okay, Kathy Fowler live in our newsroom, and for the very latest on the crisis in Kosovo, stay with WJZ Eyewitness News and CBS. We, of course, will bring you continuing coverage on all the major developments. Well, will the rain give way to sunshine tomorrow? Let's check in now with Dr. Bob for the Waking Up forecast.
Well, Vic, the struggle's already begun in the sense that the rain has pretty much moved on off to the east, although we still have some drizzle around, some fog. It's really pretty damp, but very mild. We're looking at 56 degrees on our thermometer here. So far as your Wake Up forecast goes tomorrow, overcast skies, definitely look for that. Still a possibility of a sprinkle early in the morning, and watch out for some fog. Could be a problem at drive time tomorrow in some spots, but very mild at 52 degrees. Our forecast that goes on into the Easter weekend does have some improvement, particularly tomorrow, but a little bit of an unstable situation over the weekend, so we'll fill you in on all those details in the first warning forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Vic?
Thank you, sir. Time now to turn our sights to the sports balance. That's where John Buren's holding court.
Hey, you know what it is? You know what it is? It's Thursday night. And that means Spotlight. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this week's edition of the Sports Spotlight. Coming up in about 17 minutes, also have some Oriole highlights and the bizarre tale of basketball coach Jim Harrick. See you then. Vic, on you.
Thank you, sir. Also ahead on WJZ's Eyewitness News, wake the kids and call the neighbors. We're taking you to the granddaddy of all April Fool's parades. Plus, the KKK had its say. Now your neighbors respond. Stay tuned for this Eyewitness News follow-up. And wait till you hear how big the big game is now. We're counting our chickens before they hatch. Next.
You're watching Eyewitness News with Denise, Vic, Bob's Winter, and John Sports. People who help make Eyewitness News Baltimore's favorite news team.
And lastly, I request that my ashes ascend the Eagle Peak Trail one last glorious time, so that I may join with eternity in a moment of quiet reflection.
Uncle Carl.
Get
Get a 99 Sportage starting at $13,795 with a $1,000 cash rebate.
Shady Brook Farms. We're kind of freaks about freshness.
Time's running out. It's the final days of the Room Store's Chantilly grand opening. Your final chance for special grand opening financing at all 19 stores. No payments for 1 full year. Your last opportunity for grand opening values at all 19 stores on over 200 room settings fully accessorized. So run out to the nearest room store right now and celebrate. It's gonna be dynamite.
We put it all together and save you more at the Room Store.
Eyewitness News, sponsored by BMW. Find true love. Visit your BMW center.
Lease a 1999 BMW 740i for just $699 a month for 36 months and $48.99 due at signing. Visit your local BMW center for a test drive.
First, Eyewitness News told you Anne Arundel County was ending its Adopt a Road program rather than let the Ku Klux Klan participate. Then you saw our exclusive interview with the KKK's Imperial Wizard. Well, tonight, community leaders react, and they speak out on alleged Klan actions like the picketing of a gay bar in Frederick and writing down patrons' license plate numbers.
When they do that sort of thing, they are infringing on the rights of other people of free association, for example. And I don't approve of that, but I don't know what can be done legally to stop that kind of action.
The KKK tells Eyewitness News his group specifically advises recruits not to break the law. You get another chance to break the bank this week. The big game jackpot keeps growing and growing, and tomorrow night's payoff is now an incredible $160 million. That is $160 million. Don't forget the WJZ is your exclusive big game station. You can see the winning numbers drawn only here on Eyewitness News at 11 tomorrow night, so have your winning ticket ready. So if we win, does that mean we got to finish the newscast?
I think the boss would appreciate that.
At least.
Yeah.
At least that.
Yeah, I think I might even buy a ticket for that tomorrow night.
Why not?
Especially since the weather will be improved enough to get out without any encumbrances.
Yeah.
Some improvement we're expecting tomorrow. We will see the sunshine, I think, by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon. Right now, we still got overcast skies, 54 to 57, a mild range of temps across the area. Humidity definitely up there, fog forming in some spots. The winds are pretty light, and the barometer is steady. Those are your next Fort McHenry tides. Friday morning sunrise, 5:50, 6:31 will be your sunset. We've got the first warning forecast in just a few moments.
Thank you, Dr. Bob. Still to come, we sink our teeth into a sports spotlight that won't leave you hanging. And where's Fidel hanging his hat tonight? The road to Cuba leads to one of Castro's safe houses next.
Eyewitness News is brought to you by Medifast Take Shape. This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by new Medifast Take Shape. Medifast Take Shape provides complete balanced nutrition in 3 great lactose-free flavors.
With AT&T Digital One Rate, this is no ordinary phone. It's my you can reach me in Austin, then Denver, then Philly phone. My hey, let me pick up the kids today phone. My I'm working from home today phone. My hey honey, Michael made black belt phone.
The world of wireless has changed. AT&T Digital One Rate. No roaming or long distance charges across all 50 states. So now AT&T could make your wireless phone your only phone.
The answer lies out there, Watson. Homes? That's right, Watson. Nobody in the world sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
RE/MAX, the real estate leaders.
Auto Allies is the nation's largest automobile listing and locating service. So if you're looking for another car, get in touch with us when you're not so covered up.
Don't
Don't you just love things that make life more convenient? They just make life a little bit easier. Well, here's a new one. Connective is bringing you electricity, gas, telecommunications, heating and cooling systems, and much more. All the vital services for your home or business. Now that's convenient. And once you try it, you just may wonder, how did we ever live without this? Connective. All together better.
This news segment brought to you by Sears Brand Central, the brand you want at the store you trust.
The average car travels 12,000 miles a year. The average tires last 40,000 miles. The conclusion? Sooner or later, you're going to need a new set of wheels. Where do you go? I'm getting to that. A place with thousands of tires and the best brands rolling. People with diplomas in tireology and floors your grandmother could kiss. Oh yeah, and they serve a great cup of joe. NTB, National Tire and Battery. We're everything you want, nothing like you'd expect.
Let's go now to the newsroom where Kai Jackson has an Eyewitness News update on the crisis in Kosovo. Kai.
Well, Vic, this is what we can tell you. The Pentagon has just released a transcript of the final radio calls made by 3 American soldiers as they were captured by Serb forces. The first sign of a problem came when one soldier said, "We're in contact, we're taking direct fire." Then a soldier said, "We're trapped. They're all around us. We can't get out." After that, the call stopped and the 3 Americans became prisoners of Serbian dictator Slobodan Milosevic. Vic, that's what we know right now. That's the latest.
Thank you, Kai. Tonight, Eyewitness News offers you an unusual look at another dictator. The road to Cuba takes us to a place where few have been before, one of the safe houses of Fidel Castro. This is Castro's Cuba, stuck in time. Years have gone by and this country still has embargoes imposed 34 years ago. The reason? This communist leader, the last in the Western world. 40 years ago, Castro and his rebel army emerged from the mountains and seized the government of Fulgencio Batista, converting this island nation to one of communism. Castro has been condemned by most of the world, mostly because of his human rights abuses against anyone who disagrees with him. He rules with an iron fist. No one in this island nation dare speak badly of Castro. Those who have been sentenced to 30 years in prison or worse. Even the CIA had a plot to kill Castro. As a result, he has been elusive, rarely seen in public, which made this appearance all the more historic. Security around Castro is always tight, and he rarely sleeps in the same place for very long. This, we are told, is one of the dictator's safe houses, where he can be hidden under cover of trees and security. No one knows how many safe houses there are, but we are told there are many, scattered around Cuba. There still are those who wish harm on Castro. As a result, he will remain elusive, unpredictable, and cautious. Well, tomorrow in Eyewitness News at 5 and 6, a look at the do's and the don'ts of religion in Cuba. Right now, we do want nice weather for the weekend.
As in DEW, we've got plenty of that going outside right now. There you go. Yeah, with the humid conditions we have right now, a lot of fog and a lot of condensation, of course, is occurring as it's very damp. But the rain has really moved out of the area, and that's the improvement. So,
we'll have to drive carefully going home tonight.
Yeah, also early in the morning. So let's check temperatures outside, because that's the plus side. This is definitely a spring rain, not a winter situation by any means, as well it should be. Here we're on the first day of April. Temperatures across the region right now pretty much the same as they were at the dinner hour, actually. 56 here on TV Hill. Low 60s is about the warmest we can find down at Salisbury and D.C. and Richmond. As far as the big picture goes, here's our disturbance that brought us to shower activity and rain across the region today. About 4/10 of an inch of rain in the Baltimore area. This is really quite a weak disturbance in terms of a storm or pressure pattern, and will be gradually moving out to sea. The warm air that's in the midwestern part of the country might give us some hope for some warming temperatures, but actually what's going to take hold is this high pressure system up here. As it sags down, will kick in an easterly flow and produce a frontal system that's going to be fairly stationary across this region over the next few days, and that's going to produce clouds on and off and a threat of showers pretty much through the weekend, unfortunately. Tomorrow, though, we'll see finally some sunshine in the afternoon through the clouds as the clouds gradually give way. Temperature, therefore, will warm up a little bit more over what we had today. Today our high was only 60 degrees or so. Tomorrow, yeah, about 68, maybe the low 70s further to the south. We do have the overcast skies in place. The rain is gone, but we do have the possibility of still a sprinkle perhaps. And with all that condensation and moisture in the air, fog could be a problem, particularly in those areas that are susceptible to fog, like the eastern shore and some of the dells and valleys out in the countryside. 52 our overnight low. Tomorrow, maybe a sprinkle in the morning. Clouds and fog could be a threat to drive time. Then some sunshine through the clouds. A warmer day with a high of 68 degrees. And on the 5-day forecast, we go on into the Easter weekend with that instability that I was talking about. Kind of a mixture of clouds and sunshine, threat of a shower, particularly early Saturday and then again late Sunday. Monday opening day looks like it's going to be a perfectly seasonable day. 60 degrees right on the seasonable mark. And right now looks a little bit breezy, however, that day. But that should get in the opening day of the baseball season okay. And then a shower again on Tuesday at 62 degrees. Vic?
Dr. Bob, Oriole Magic is now just days away, 4 days to be exact, until our home team takes to the turf at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. You can catch all the opening day festivities right here on WJZ, starting at 5 a.m. with Rise and Shine. Then at noon, Eyewitness News will take you onto the field with live reports. Then at 2 p.m., you won't want to miss our own opening day special called Gimme an O. At 3, it's time to cheer on the Orioles as they take on the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Then be sure to join Eyewitness News after the game for a wrap-up on opening day. And now, right now, no waiting required.
Oh,
it's sports.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Could you go over that again?
You need a little time to get quiet.
When we come back, we got Sports Spotlight and more fun than a petting zoo, so stick around.
This Eyewitness News segment is brought to you by Colonial Williamsburg. Call 1-800-HISTORY for a vacation planner.
Get reacquainted with your country. For a free guide to the most important vacation in America, call 1-800-HISTORY.
Could be serious. The fact is, no health question should go unanswered. So for advice, help, or a physician referral, call LifeBridge On Call's trained nurse consultants day or night at 410-601-WELL.
Free to move about the country.
Could be serious. The fact is, no health question should go unanswered. So for advice, help, or a physician referral, call LifeBridge On Call's trained nurse consultants day or night at 410-601-WELL.
You can count on WJZ's First Warning Weather. Accurate information, reliable forecasts, prepared by Baltimore's most experienced weather team. First Warning Weather helps make WJZ Eyewitness News Baltimore's favorite news team. You're watching Eyewitness News, Baltimore's favorite news team.
You can be a weatherman.
Is that all you got to do?
You get the rock together.
That and learn to couch everything you say. Like
possibility.
Probably, and it looks like right now. And if all goes right, you see, you never say that it's gonna rain. No, you gotta get.
Dr. Sopka's getting his rocks
leave
together.
Leave that back door, baby.
Right.
Always leave the exits open. I know what you guys are doing. I got you figured out.
What's going on?
Our guys finishing up the Florida phase of their exhibition schedule. On a high note this day as they shut out the Florida Marlins down in Melbourne. Juan Guzman with the start, 6 shutout innings, 3 hits. He's struck out 5. Guzman finishes up the spring with 4 wins and no losses, and that ain't bad. Game scoreless, top of the 7th. Cal Ripken leading off, sends a fly ball left field, getting up, getting out, gets over that little fence out there. First home run of the spring for Ripken. O's come up 2-0 winner. They're going to play the Braves in Atlanta tomorrow night. Pro Hoop on this April Fool's Day. 76ers were down in Miami. They had not beaten the Heat since November of 1996. But they got it done tonight. Sixers will be in the black uniforms. This is Allen Iverson on the dribble out front. Goes alley-oop for Larry Hughes. Cut into the hole. Throws it down. Sixers out to a 10-point halftime lead. Heat got back to within a point, but then the Sixers, Matt Geiger, put them away. Big drive down the middle and an even bigger slam dunk. Oh, my. Tear the roof off the sucker. Geiger got 25. Sixers win it by 4, 88-84 in Miami. Philly breaks a 3-game losing streak. In college ball, the strange tale of Jim Herrick just keeps getting stranger. Yesterday, he announces that he's leaving his job as the head coach at the University of Rhode Island to take over the program at Georgia. Then late this afternoon, Herrick says he's changed his mind, and he's not going to take that Georgia job, but instead is going to go back to Rhode Island. Then about 9 o'clock tonight, he doubles back again, says now he's decided that he really is going to take the Georgia job, and those knuckleheads in Athens take him back. Are you ready for this? Jim Herrick, once again, the new head coach at Georgia. However, stay tuned. We'll have updates as events warrant. Women's tennis tour at Hilton Head Island this week. Round of 16 matches up today. 7th seed Anna Kournikova in against Barbara Schett of Austria. This is Anna Kournikova in the far court. This was a very noisy match. Boy, yeah. Barbara Schett. She was in the near court. Goes down in straight sets to Anna Kournikova, 7-6 and 6-4. Anna Kournikova on to the quarterfinals, having beaten Barbara Schett today in Hilton Head Island. Finally tonight, once again, time for our weekly Sports Spotlight feature. Special guest host this week, one of our friends from the old WWF.
This is The Rock, the WWF champ, and The Rock says, know your role and get ready for Sports Spotlight.
Oh, The Rock might be ready, but it seems the scheduled appearance by the San Jose Shark may be delayed for a few moments. We'll check back with him a little bit later in the show. But first, news and notes from around the NBA, where fans in courtside seats continue to be very much in harm's way.
That one tickled.
In the wake of such collisions comes the inevitable fan backlash. But the show must go on, and so it does. Meanwhile, the Shark appears to be making little, if any, progress. We'll continue to update that story. Time now, though, to head out for some fire on ice with play-by-play legend Mike Lang.
I believe the Piglets will get credit for this goal, and they'll lead 2-0. He smoked them like a bad cigar.
And with that, we check in one last time with the ill-fated Shark mascot, who it appears may finally be off the hook. And that concludes this week's edition of the Sports Spotlight, a segment which has left our old buddy Bob Knight with one lingering question.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
That's a question Bob's going to have to answer for himself.
I think so.
I don't want to get into the genealogy of the thing there. That's this week's Sports Spotlight. Have a good evening, one and all.
Thank you, sir. The night team's got its marching orders, and boy, are they silly. It's some April Fool lunacy next.
Real-time closed captioning of Eyewitness News is provided by O'Connor, Piper & Flynn, ERA. Visit our website at www.opf.com to tour thousands of homes for sale in your neighborhood. This Eyewitness News segment is brought to you by Premise Insecticide. Termites won't know what hit them.
Did you know a colony of termites can eat 2 to 3 pounds of your home every week? You can't afford to wait 6 to 10 months for termites to even find a bait system. You gotta stop them now with Premise Insecticide. Premise puts a zone of no return between your home and theirs. It isn't a bait, it isn't a barrier, it's a dead end. Premise puts a stop to termites today.
Ask your pest control professional or call 1-877
premise. You won't know it's there. Termites won't know what hit them.
Morning. How do you feel?
Sore.
Oh, you poor thing. Here, I brought you breakfast.
Dunkin' Donuts. Wow.
Why don't you eat up while I get your sponge bath ready? Looks like your sedatives run out.
What was that?
I said your sedatives run out. Now, about that sponge bath.
Nothing says morning like Dunkin' Donuts. Now get a new omelet for just 99 cents when you buy a large cup of delicious Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
At Circuit City, we have everything you need for your computer.
From software and hardware to printers, high-speed modems, memory, or you can design your own system.
You can be confident that you'll always get a guaranteed low price and great customer service.
The newest computers are at Circuit City right now, and you'll save on the best top brands with a $100 bonus mail-in rebate on desktop computer, monitor, and printer packages, and all notebook computers. Plug into low prices all over the store today at Circuit City.
Having your car stolen can be a real blow. You work hard for these things. That's why Farmers Insurance is all about getting things back to the way they once were. From the way our policies are written to the way claims are handled, everything's about getting you back behind the wheel. It's what we think auto insurance should be about. Farmers, we get you back where you belong.
For personal professional service, call your local independent Farmers Insurance agent.
When you think of a warthog, it's probably not a very pretty picture, but meet Kenya and Caroline, two warthog piglets. The brother and sister combo made their debut at the Denver Zoo today, and you have to admit, they are pretty cute, but face only the mother can love. But we can't say the same will hold true when they grow up. Finally tonight, in honor of April Fool's Day, did you do something silly today? Yeah, I came to work. In San Francisco, a horde of silly people used the date as an excuse to take part in the St. Stupid's Day Parade. The parade honors the patron saint of civilizations and parking meters. Don't ask why, we're not quite sure. It also includes a sock exchange, a penny toss, and a leap of faith. I'm not sure from what. Or to where?
Love those madcap Californians.
Always in California.
Yeah.
That's it for tonight, everybody. For Bob, John, and Denise, I'm Vic. Thanks for making Eyewitness News Baltimore's favorite news team. Have a good night.
When you see news happen, call the Eyewitness News hotline at 410-578-1313. Baltimore's favorite news team is on the internet. Log into Eyewitness News online at www.wjz.com. Eyewitness News, the most watched local news in Baltimore and home of Sky Eye Chopper 13, Baltimore's first news helicopter, and First Warning Radar, the first local radar in Maryland.